Hey guys, Cam for 15 back out with another video for you guys, and I am back with another My Dress Up Darling episode review for you guys as we are getting, or as we just received the last episode of season 2 for My Dress Up Darling, as My Dress Up Darling is now finally over for at least this season. Man, why can't this show just be long running now that the source material is already finished every single day, week? Can't we just do that? But no. Cloverworks obviously is working on other stuff, and yeah, but yeah, enjoyed this episode a lot. I really did enjoy this episode a lot. Obviously, I think the shocking thing that came out of this week's episode was the fact that we all thought Akira actually hated Kitagawa, only to find out like she is probably her biggest fan. And I would not be surprised if she would be the one that walks Kitagawa to freaking to Gojo on basically essentially their wedding day, right? Well, maybe not. We definitely do know that she'll probably be there for their wedding if they if they show it. I do think Kitagawa and Gojo are endgame, but you get my point there, right? So yeah, this episode was shocking, and then again, it was Marin struggling to tell Gojo how much she loves him, right? So yes. Now, the thing is, we do not have a confirmation for season 3. Like, I checked every source I could potentially check before I recorded this video. And as of now, there is no confirmation of a season 3. I checked the Reddit pages, I checked the freaking Twitter, nothing. So we have yet to get a confirmation for a season 3. I do believe we will get a season 3 confirmation because this show is very widely popular. We'll see. I don't remember going back to when it took, how long it took them to announce season 2, but please put that in the comment section. But, hopefully, in a few weeks or so, they announce a season 3. If anything, maybe once 2026 starts, they announce season 3 for My Dress Up Darling. Now, whenever they announce that, I'm okay with that. I just hope the wait isn't too long because obviously we waited a bit. Like, it wasn't a crazy long wait, but we waited a bit for this second season of My Dress Up Darling. But at the same time, you can make the argument, well, the wait is worth it because the more you wait, the more it makes, the more, it makes it, or the more you enjoy watching it from a week to week basis. So yeah, but realistically, the only thing you can do if you're a My Dress Up Darling fan is, just wait for season 3. Otherwise, just go back and rewatch season 2 in the English dub if you like listening to the English dub and you like listening to Amali's voice as Kitagawa, which that is definitely what I'm going to be doing. But let's get to this week's episode. So this week's episode contains the coffin cosplay. So we start the episode off with Kitagawa kind of like freaking out, right? And she's freaking out about the confession angle, right? And she's wondering when she should tell Gojo. Now, she was supposed to tell him at the end of last week's episode, but she didn't have the courage to tell him yet. So she's fidgeting all around. She's like, I should really tell him, right now when he gets over here, but maybe I should tell him after the cosplay thing, right? And that's what she makes her mind up doing. She makes her mind up and kind of delays it. And she's like, you know what, after we're done with this, I'll tell him that I'm in love with him, right? The thing is, she keeps putting it off. And again, it's like I said last week. It's not that, it's not that she doesn't want to tell him. It's just when the moment's there, she's afraid of what the response may bring. She doesn't know what Gojo's going to say, and at the same time, she's a high school girl. She's afraid, and she's not confident in herself because it's like, how do I tell this guy that I really like him, and he doesn't react in a weird way? And on top of it, how do I muster up the courage to do that? So she tries to keep putting it off, but I think now I thought at the end of the episode, especially when Gojo was basically telling her, everything he was saying, how much fun he's having, right? I thought she was just gonna blurt it out and we're gonna get left off on a cliffhanger where he's in absolute shock at the fact, like, hey, where Kitagawa says, like, I love you, Gojo. And that's where we get left off on the cliffhanger going to season 3 and seeing the reaction, which would be a really crazy blue balls dawn to dawn type of ending to a season, but I honestly thought we were getting that, but we didn't get that, right? But anyways, um, look, so it's funny because she's even talking to her freaking stuffed animals, saying what she's gonna say. She's just like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know if I could do this." But then Gojo freaking rings the doorbell. He's there. He's like, "Hey, ready to do your makeup and everything." She's like, "Yes, yes, yes." So she's over here freaking out and fidgeting. Gojo's minding his own business, and he repairs it. He grabs her chin, bro. Listen, man. Any man, any boy that grabs a girl's chin like that, I'm sorry, bro. You one, the the girl just allows it to happen. Two, like legitimately, when he did that, I'm just like, oh, bro, she's gonna start freaking out, bro. He grabbed that chin, and I'm just like, dude, I'm like, girl, you need to just tell him that you love him, right? He's doing all this and everything. I understand you guys are friends and stuff like that, but like, type of friend grabs the chin like that, boom, right? So she gets all flustered. Anyways, they get to the area where they're gonna do their coffin cosplay, and everything. So all the characters are there, and already Suzuka is there, Akira is there, Shinju and Juju are there. So that's when they start to basically go get, ready, get dressed up and everything in their cosplay outfits. Which it all looked really good. I will say it was kind of hard to like tell which was who was who. Which the subtitles they had it above their head, like, okay, who is who, right? Because it's like the looks made them so different to the point you couldn't even tell like who it was at the end of the time, at the end of the day, right? You did get this weird scene between Suzuka and Amane. So they tell Kitagawa, like, hey, the changing room's right over there. She legitimately sprints out because early in the scene, Gojo gets close up to her face, and she obviously, with everything that's going on currently, she gets flustered. The moment she finds out where the changing room is, she darts out of there. I'm just like, this girl can't take. This girl legitimately may end up like, if she don't tell Gojo that she loves him, she might come down with the freaking pirate empress from One Piece love sickness that happens to pirate empresses who don't basically find their beloved love, right? So she darts out of there, goes to the changing room right then and there. You get this crazy scene where Amane starts to change, right? And Suzuka's like, Suzuka is like, oh, I didn't know you were changing here. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just get used to it and everything, and I forgot you're in the room. Look, if you need to go, you can go. I can go somewhere else and go change. And she's like, no, 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 no. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. And then she basically kind of implies of she wants to continue seeing him change. I don't know if it's a fetish thing, especially if she wants to see how a guy changes into a girl's cosplay outfit. Or, I don't know, maybe she wants to see his dick. Look, okay. Maybe Amane and Suzuka are endgame by the end of this series. They seem like they totally would be a thing together. She clearly supports him and what he likes to do, and she likes that, I guess, cross-dressing shit. So maybe they're endgame. Maybe this is Amane's future wife right here. I guess, it would make the most sense. So yeah. Anyways, there's that, right? There's that. So maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a shipping pairing right there. I ship it. I don't know if anybody else ships it, but okay, we'll see where it goes. So they have the coffin cosplay, and they all, dress up in their nun outfits and everything. They all looked good in it, and it looked actually pretty visually stunning with how they were taking the photos and everything. Shinju's obviously very excited with what's going on. I mean, you do get the scene with Juju, and it's kind of the whole thing where she really realistically only did this for her sister, albeit she didn't like doing this cosplay at all because she does not like horror elements. So like you get that one scene where like, it's a flashback, I guess, to like, I guess her mom explaining what like favorite or what foods that she don't like to eat, and it's scaring her about that. And then they basically do this prop, right, of like these fake meats and this fake blood, and they got an eyeball, and she's looking at this shit, and you can tell she's fucking terrified, bro. She is terrified, right? She manages to get through it, and Gojo ends up talking to her later, and basically it's confirmed, like, no, Shinju tells Gojo, like, yeah, I don't like scary cosplays. I don't like cosplays that make me that scare me, right? Which is crazy to say the least. Like absolutely crazy. Which it's funny because eventually when the other girls find, they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to do this. We didn't mean to, we didn't know. We're so sorry for forcing you. We should have not done that." But Juju's okay. And then you get the last interesting part, or the last interesting part of the episode where Kitagawa and Shinju, they're headed back to the changing room, and essentially what happens is that Juju, or yeah, not Juju, Shinju is like, "Hey, I think you and Akira should take a photo together. I think you guys would look so cute. We should do that." Right? But the thing is, it's like, "Oh no, they don't like each other." So, and Kitagawa was like, "What should I say? What should I say?" I can't tell Shinju that she don't like me, because then she's gonna feel bad. But then Kitagawa just like, "Shinju, no, don't do it. Akira doesn't like me." And Shinju's like, "Wait, what?" And then Akira's like, "Huh? Wait, what?" And then, bro. So we basically get a flashback to when Akira told Gojo and Amane that she does not like Kitagawa. Well, that's not exactly 100% true. So we find out in this episode that Akira does not hate Kitagawa. The only reason why she can't be around Kitagawa is because she legitimately freaks out. And she freaks out because she is a fangirl. So Suzuka and her other friend showed her a photo of Kitagawa in her Black Lobelia costume from the season 1, when she did that cosplay initially with a Juju and Shinju, right? In season 1. And because she calls Kitagawa princess, right? Because when she said, I can't show my face in front of the princess," and Amane and Gojo, especially Gojo's like, "Princess? What do you mean by that?" Dude, Gojo's reactions are top tier when he has that serious look, that serious expression where he's just like, "Really? Okay, all right." But she loves that Black Lobelia character, and when she heard that it was Kitagawa that cosplay as it, she basically read up more about Kitagawa, and she has like magazines about her photo shoots, right? And this girl is Kitagawa's biggest fan, essentially, right? And she thinks that she's the cutest girl she's ever seen, and she's been a fan. This has been like legitimately, this is her goddess, right? Kitagawa is her goddess. Like, she worships the ground that Kitagawa stands on. And the thing is, she feels like she's not confident to be next to her like that, and if that happens, she's legitimately gonna freak out, pass out, and lose it, right? And it's absolutely hilarious because when Kitagawa finds this out, she's like, "Wait, you're my," because the Shizuka and the others and Gojo are like, "No, she likes you. Like, she's your biggest fan. Like, she really respects you. It's not that she doesn't hate you. She just can't compose herself when she gets around you. Essentially, she's basically she gets nervous around her. Like, Kitagawa is an idol to her. Like, something like important. It's like if you meet, one of your favorite actors or one of your favorite actresses or one of your favorite, sports, athletes, and it's your all-time favorite sports athlete, and there's nothing you can fucking say. You just mark out and you just freak the hell out, and you're just like, "I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?" Right? That's essentially her reaction to Kitagawa, right? So she played it off like as she didn't like her, to just compose herself to not go crazy. Because in her head, she's like, "Oh my god, it's Mary Kitagawa, my favorite cosplayer." Yes. And it's funny because Kitagawa's like, "Oh my god." She goes over there, bro. She legitimately wraps her arms around her and it's like, "Shinju, get a picture of us. We need to get a picture together. I need to get a picture with my biggest fan." And over here, freaking Akira is freaking out. She's like, "What is happening right now? What is happening right now?" And she's like, and she remembers back to her flashback. And she's like, "I never thought I'd be this happy in my life before." And now you can see that Kitagawa has cured this happiness within her from her flashback of her mom throwing out her mangas and shit like that, right? And it was absolutely hilarious. This girl legitimately starts to tear up and start to freaking cry. She's just in utter shock, right? And she can't compose herself, right? And so after it's over, right? She's over here with Shinju after the cosplay is like concluded. Shinju's over here consoling her and say, "It's okay, it's okay." Apparently, this girl burst out crying, like she couldn't contain herself, bro. I'm just like, oh my god. So maybe over the episodes in season 3, we do see them again. We see Akira again. Maybe she'll get better adjusted to better, composed around Kitagawa. But she like, I guess she just started crying profusely, mostly because she just couldn't believe it. And basically, Shizuka and the other friend was like, "Look, we're sorry for not telling you about this. It's just she really, really does appreciate you and she really does like you. It's just she can't keep herself composed and she starts to break down if she's around you. So we apologize for like keeping this a secret from you, right?" And it's funny because Juju's like, "See, this is why you need to stop going out the way like this, right?" So they basically all leave to wrap up, and it obviously signifying like, well, hey, we'll see you probably in season 3, all you characters in season 3 again, and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we get the last few minutes of the episode to where basically they're going home. It's funny because then Gojo's like, "Hey, well, it's just you and me, like we always been, together, alone, together." And then Kitagawa's like, "Yes, yes, I remember." And then so she remembers, like, "Oh wait, this is the part where I gotta tell him that I love him, right?" So then Gojo is like, "Hey, they get off the train or the subway. Then he's like, 'Hey, I can walk you home real quick,' and she's like, and then you have this like little mini Kitagawa's like, 'You need to tell him that you love him. You need to tell him that you love him. You need to tell him that you,'" and she's like, "Okay, yeah, sure, let's go." So they get to her front door, right? And he's like, "Well, here we are." And essentially she's just thinking like, "I need to tell him that I love him." Or one, as they're walking, she quietly says, "I love you," right? Not quiet, not large enough to hear, or not loud enough for Gojo to hear, unless like maybe we get to the first episode of season 3 and Gojo gets home after this moment and he's like, "I think I heard her just say she loves me," right? But it's never implied like he heard that, right? So they get basically to her front door balcony, and essentially, what happens is she's wondering what she should tell Gojo, and that's when Gojo basically tells Kitagawa, like, "Hey, I just want to say, I just want to say, hey, I'm having so much fun doing this. This is probably one of the most fun, the most fun I've had in a very long time." And he talking about like making the costumes and doing the props and doing the designs, because he's also learning a lot of new things and shit like that, and he's actually having fun because it's also translating to the Hina doll stuff. And again, we've seen over the course of the season, he started to get more comfortable around people now and actually show to other people like who he is and what he's about, and stuff like that. And again, it's pretty freaking cool. So you basically have that, right then and there, right? So essentially what happens is Kitagawa, starts to muster up the courage, because Gojo's like, "Well," because they look at the sun, because Gojo's like, "Oh wow, look at the sun, it's so beautiful," right? And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go home, I'll see you tomorrow at school, okay?" And I'm just like, bro, They are not gonna end this off like this. She's gotta tell him that she loves him. This is gonna be the cliffhanger. We're gonna be left on the cliffhanger that she tells him that she's in love with him. And boom, it's season 3, right? So she does grab his hand, and he's like, Kitagawa, what's up? And I'm thinking over here, I'm like, okay, this is the moment she's gonna tell him that she loves him right then and there. And she's like, Gojo, I can we take a selfie? Oh, brother. Oh, man. Oh, I was waiting for that. But, you know, she wraps her arm around Gojo. Gojo's like, Kitagawa, what are you doing? Because he's getting all flustered and everything. Because she's getting all close. And she's like, come on, smile for the camera. He does smile for the camera too, right? But, you know, he's like, okay, could you please get off of me? Could you please get off of me? Because he gets flustered around her when she gets close to him right there. So I can only imagine how flustered he's going to get when he obviously gets that confirmation from her that she's in love with him. And then that's basically where the episode ends, because the ending starts to play. You know, he's fidgeting around. She ends up dropping her camera, right? And you just see the photo that they took, and then that's it. End credits, and My Dress Up Darling season 2 is over. Overall, man, this season was really good. Really, actually not really good. Great. It's phenomenal. 10 out of 10. I don't care what anybody says. My Dress Up Darling is, again, I said it in my what I will watch for Fall Anime 2025 video. I said My Dress Up Darling is a top 3 romance anime, bro, in my books. Like, I enjoy every time I get it, and now that it's freaking gone, I don't know what to do on my freaking Saturdays now that I won't be able to watch Kitagawa and Gojo's adventures and shit like that. But again, hopefully the wait for season 3 isn't too long, so we can basically, you know, prepare accordingly. But yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more anime content, whatever stuff I upload to the channel and things like that. But yeah, but again, My Dress Up Darling was a great season. Our season 2 was a great season. I love the introduction of all the new characters that we did end up getting in this season, and getting their story and getting their backstory. I think probably the most touching one was definitely Amane, with how he had to really handle, you know, the ostracization of, you know, what the public thinks of cosplay, especially of a guy cosplaying as a girl, right? You know, or as a girl anime character. You know, I'm not one to judge, right? You know, I don't judge people. Like, if, you know, guy likes to cosplay as a girl character, then, you know, more power to them. But, you know, you shouldn't be judged strictly for that alone. So, you know, it's kind of that thing there. I did like Akira's character. It was great that they brought back Juju and Shinju back to the story, because I was definitely wondering, like, hey, are they gonna bring these characters back? And stuff like that. And then I think probably my most favorite thing was definitely that school festival arc, mostly because for Gojo's perspective, you know, that's when the classmates really truly now, you know, see how cool he is, because he does Kitagawa's cosplay. So it's like, for example, this coffin cosplay, when she shows it to her friends and everything, right? You know, I bet the other classmates be like, wait, Gojo, did you work on this? And Gojo's like, yeah. And he's going to be okay with speaking out in public about him making cosplays for Kitagawa. And the other students in the class are not going to judge him for it, right? They're going to be like, wow, dude, that's so cool. And who knows, maybe next season we have to wear, like, hey, can we try a cosplay with Kitagawa? And could you make something and stuff like that? And they saw, you know, the dedication he did to make, you know, Kitagawa's outfit. So it was really cool to see, and that was probably my favorite arc of the season that we got, you know, just from the standpoint his classmates see and open up and accept him for who he is. And it really goes back to show you that one bad interaction with somebody really did traumatize him, and now the fact that, you know, people are legitimately like happy for this guy, they're like, yeah, let's do it. So, That's the thing there. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more. Yeah, if you want to get more anime stuff and things like that. But other than that, if you only check out the My Dress Up Darling videos, well, I'll see you guys whenever My Dress Up Darling returns. But till then, guys, peace.